This is the Color app routine to enter color information. Subprogram 8, tab 5. It first sets up an XY position of 545, a color of black, a font of bold, 11 points, and displays the text each canvas color digits. It then sets the value of J to 0 and goes around a loop over I from 1 down here to next I4 one at a time. That's for canvas 1 through canvas 4. Then it says, well, take the color value for canvas 1, put it into hold, 8 digits long. Then for k equals 0 to k equals 7 one at a time, well, that's 8 times. It's going to take the text digits that it put in the hold one at a time, get their value, and put it in the value list. First at offset J, which is 0, we'll set to 0 up here. And then each time it does it, it's going to add 1 to J. So it's going to go around for the 4 canvases, and then for the 8 digits that are in the color value of each canvas, it's going to go around 32 times. Then it's going to set up the parameters for a rectangle fill down here. It's going to say tall 88, wide 300, the first rectangle at position 051. Then it sets up A and B for colors. It sets A to a dark green and B to a dark red. Then it's going to go around for I equals 1 to the next I4 one at a time. Again, that's going to be for each canvas. First time it makes the color A. Well, we know that that's a dark green. Then it does the rectangle fill. Then it adds to Y88. Remember up here the height of it was 88, so now it's moving down below it. And then it swaps A and B. So now A is going to be the dark red. Then it goes around and does the rectangle again. Then it changed the color again. Goes around again and changes the color again. It makes 4 rectangles. Starts out dark green, then dark red, dark green, dark red. I've upped the instructions so we can get to the rest of the routine, where it first fills 30 at hold with 32. Hold is text, so it's going to fill that text with 30 spaces. Then it sets tall and wide to 11 and 13. That's going to be used for a rectangle that's way down below here. Then it sets position XY to 1060. Sets the color to 999, which is white. The font size to 10. And starts the value of K at 0. Then it says for J1, and then we go down here to find the next J. Next J4, one at a time. Again, that's going to be for each canvas. For canvas 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then it says for I, well, first it takes a test. It puts in test the value of J, just 1 digit. It's going to show the value of the canvas in the beginning of the text. And here we see it's going to go for I of 0 down here to I 1000, 128 at a time. Well, that's going to be the rest of the text it puts at the beginning of a line. So, here we continue. It sets X now to the 10. It does the text of the data in test. It's going to be for 2 characters. Then it's going to put the text that gives the name of the line. The first line is called dual type. Then it sets L to the value at offset K. K started at 0. We now know it's going to go around here 32 times, each time getting the value of the digit, placing it in L, and then adding 1 to K, so it's going to go to the next value the next time it goes around the loop. It's going to go around 32 times because down here where it said I was going to go up to 1,128 at a time, it's going to be 8 times before it gets over the value of 1,000. Right, we go back here, it just wrote the text, updated K by 1. Now it sets the value of X to 127. Well, that's beyond this information that it's done so far. That is the number of the canvas and the text saying dual type. Now it's going beyond that. It's going to be at X 127. Then it's going to add to L the value of L, which doubles the value of L because there's 2 characters for each number it's going to display. It's space 0, space 1, space 2, up to space 9. 2 characters for each field, we'll say. Then it does text of hold for the value of L, that many characters. It's skipping that many spaces to get to the point where it's going to make the blue box behind the number. Well, when it does a rectangle, it's going to be from the upper left hand corner. So we have to subtract 10 from Y because we're switching from the baseline of text going up to the top of a rectangle that's to be above the text. So it subtracts 10 from Y. It sets the color to a green-blue, mostly blue, and makes a rectangle. Remember, up here is how tall and wide that rectangle is to be, 11 by 13. Now, it's making that rectangle down here. That's going to be the background for the number that is selected. Because up here we got the L was the value. We did 2 L's to skip 2 spaces for each value to get out to the position where the value is that was selected. Then we make that rectangle. Then we add to Y10. We put ourselves back down to the baseline for text. Then we set X to 130, take the color white, and we put the text where it will say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, up till 9. Then we add the Y11 to go to the next line. Well, if you remember way back here, our font was 10. Now we're skipping 11. We're going down to the next line. So we're going to go around here 32 times. And each time we are going to put all the digits. But only one of the digits is going to have the blue box behind it. Now we're going to create the rectangle that encompasses all of the values 0 through 9 for all of the 32 rows. I have upped the screen to the routine. First, it's going to set T, tall, to 352. Well, that's the total height. Each previous rectangle we made was 88, and there were 4 of them. 4 times the 88 is the total height for every canvas. That's 352. Now we want to know how wide that rectangle is. We first are going to save the value of x as it is right now, and then we're going to display 20 characters from hold. Well, hold is just full of spaces, but it's going to increase the value of xs by those spaces. Then we're going to set ws to that value of xs that it got put at, but we're going to subtract the beginning value, v. That's what x was when it started. That's going to give us the width of those numbers 0 through 9. Then we set the value of xs to 127. That is where they start at from the right at x position 127, and they start down 51 from the top. We're then going to set the color to black, and we're actually going to draw the rectangle around them. This isn't necessary, but you may see on the screen that there is a rectangle drawn around the area that is now going to be made clickable. The rectangle did not have to be drawn, but it was drawn. And then we make that rectangle clickable and give it click number 9. Then the next thing we do is we check to see if number 9 was clicked on, that rectangle. Well, if it wasn't, we go to BJ, and way down here is BJ. We just go home. The routine is over. Well, if it was clicked, it's going to continue down and do a match statement where we say that there are 10 columns. Well, yes, there's the columns for the values 0 through 9, and there are 32 rows. There's 8 rows for the 4 canvases. Next, we're going to set v equal to that I, because we're going to pull the value of I apart. We're going to then mod that v by 10, so it's become 0 through 9. Well, that's going to be the value that they clicked on. Then we're going to take the value of I and remove that last value from it by modding it with 10. Then we're going to say set q equal to the new I, mod q with 8. That's going to tell us which one of the rows for a particular canvas they clicked on. So we're removing that row number, 8, possible, as it goes from 0 to 7. Then we're going to remove that from the value of I by now dividing it by 8. That's going to give us which one of the canvases it was. Well, then we continue on here, and it says it's going to enter the digit in the canvas color value. Well, first it goes and gets the value that it had for that particular canvas using I, this value we just got right here, which was the canvas number, to put the value into hold. 8 digits. That's what the 80 means. Then we're going to take the value of V and put it into hold at offset Q, just 1 digit. Well, they clicked on a particular digit. We're going to take that digit and put it into that color's 8-digit number. Then we have the new 8 digits for that color, and we're going to take them and put their value for the 8 digits back into that canvas's color. Well, this is how it updates the colors. This is the color app, and that's the end of this routine.